There was a book. It's called Watchers. It's by Dean Koontz, and the premise of it is like deep in some secret government lab, they like bioengineered a golden retriever to have like the intelligence of a human, and like they were gonna train it to be like a CIA asset. You know, to be like, oh, Xi Jinping, here's a dog as a gift of good faith from the U.S. people.
Okay.
And in reality, like, the dog's just a spy because it's smart. Like, it understands everything you're saying, and then it can, like, report back. And then the dog escapes and gets picked up by a regular guy. And then there was also, like, another experiment at the same lab where they, like, bioengineered, like, a man-sized gorilla to be, like, extra aggressive. And they were going to use those as, like, soldiers on the battlefield.
Okay.
Just, like, release a bunch into, like, a foreign adversary country.
Okay.
And just let them run amok. And apparently, like, it and the dog are, like, psychologically linked. Or telepathically linked.
The dog and the gorilla?
Yeah, the gorilla.
Okay. All right.
And the gorilla was hunting the dog. And that's like, the conflict. The dog has to let on that it's smart. And it also has to, you know...
be close to the...
Yeah, keep them safe from, like, the gorilla that's hunting them. The monster.
This is a book?
Yeah. It's called Watchers by Dean Koontz. I think they made it into a TV movie, too.
No, I never heard of it.
It was a very good book. I don't know, every time a dog acts weird like that, I'm like, are you a CIA asset?
Like, what
are you spying on me?
What do they want from me? Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a spy?
No,
With, like, man intelligence?
Yeah, I personally think, I mean, I grew up in a place where you just don't have pets. So I really don't, I'm not a pets guy. If it was me, I would just be me.
You're from the world where an animal has to earn its keep.
That's true. But
you don't just get fed. You got to give me something too.
Having a baby, it makes sense because like this is an investment you're making.
Yeah.
And the chance of you getting reap what you sow, it's a lot higher. But with a dog, I don't understand at all. All you're doing is just...
No, a dog's a black hole that money goes into. And the worst thing about a dog is a good lifespan for a dog is, you know, depends on the breed, but, you know, we'll say 12, 15 years, right?
Okay.
A child, the rough years are like 1 to 3, right?
That's right, yeah.
After it's about 3 years old, it starts becoming more independent. It can do things, you know, do for itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like the difference between like an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old is pretty significant, right?
It's very noticeable, yeah.
Yeah, like an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old is way more independent than an 8-year-old, right?
Right.
So as a parent, your involvement in the process goes down over the years as it gets older, right?
Yes.
A dog, a puppy until the day it dies, it depends on you the exact same level. It never changes. Every meal it gets, you gave it to it. Every time it went out, it's because you stood up and let it out. And that does not change from the day it's born until the day it dies.
I mean, I just think having a kid just makes sense in the sense of, like, as you said, after they get to 4, you get to communicate with this thing.
Yeah.
I just think that whole idea is so beautiful. Like, you get to install your idea.
Well,
you get to, this is like a blank slate.
Well, that's an example of the sick society that we live in. Like, children have been demonized. You know, like Handmaid's Tale. Oh, is that all you see me as is a baby factory?
All right.
You know, I mean, oh, you don't want children? That's a hamper on your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. That's a bummer. Mm-hmm. You want a job. You want career. You want to do spreadsheets. That's the real freedom.
My biggest fear in life is that whenever I'm ready to have a kid, I find out that I actually can't have a kid. I think I would change as a person if that happens.
Yeah, man, are your swimmers good?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Have them tested.
I don't know. I mean, there's no reason for me to think they're not good in the sense of, like, as you see my family, there's a village. No one has a problem.
I was going to say, your father could field a whole football team plus a couple in reserve. Clearly, Dad doesn't have a problem.
Yeah, so, I mean, I would be shocked, but there's been a lot of few scares that I had, that I thought I was gonna have a kid, but never had. But I'm also not like willy nilly about everybody else when it comes to just like, risking it all just to pull out all this crazy method people have. I don't have any of those methods. I make sure 100% there's nothing getting baked.
Hey, I mean, well, honestly, like, evolution's a funny thing. If it didn't feel so good,
unbelievable,
it wouldn't be done.
Yeah, I don't. That's why. I'm okay. I don't need to worry. This is
like,
ridiculous. I think I'm just overly safe. Everybody around me is like the most biggest risk takers I heard in my goddamn life. These guys are just like, it is what it is,
Inshallah.
So no, I think I'm a little bit more careful. But just in general, if it comes down to it, that's my biggest fear is that like when I'm ready to have a kid, they're like, hey, it's you. You actually can't have kids.
Well, that's kind of a paradox of intelligence too. It's like if you have the intellectual capacity to run risk assessment, you probably would.
Yeah.
That's why highly intelligent people, high levels of intelligence are correlated to negative reproductive success.
Yeah.
Because if you're smart, like if you're really, really smart, you'll overthink everything and just get paralyzed by indecision.
Too much information, yeah.
Yeah, like if you're stupid, let's just say you're, low end of a normal IQ, like let's say 90, right? I mean, that's the very bottom of an average IQ is like 90, right? You see a girl you like, you don't think about it too much. You just walk up and say something, the first thing that comes to your mind, right? Any approach is better than no approach, even if it's ham-fisted and awkward. At least you tried. You go up to 100 women, one will say yes. Meanwhile, if you're packing like an IQ of like 180, Elon Musk, whole different level shit, you're like, what do I say? If she says this, what do I say that? Where do I, what? And then you're just like, fuck, let me just go home. Meanwhile, this stupid dude's out here shooting shots, He don't make but a fraction of the ones he shoots, but some do slip through the cracks because at least he's out here. Meanwhile, you're trying to think of it like 4 steps ahead.
Yeah.
She does this, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do, you're trying to run it like a chessboard. And meanwhile, you just get so frustrated, you're like, man, I can't do this. And then I just go home.
No, that's true. That's exactly what's happening to a lot of people, yeah.
You don't think about tomorrow. You don't have the capacity to think about tomorrow. Yeah, you're like, no, she said she was on birth control. Oh, and you believed it.
Oh, dude, that's the other thing too. There's been times where I've been like, okay, I've definitely done something here, and I need to take care of it. I would spend plan B the next day. You know what I mean? The next day, and you know what they said? I watch her take it. I make sure she takes it, and they're very expensive. Let me just say this right now:
$50.
They're so expensive, and some of the times I'm sure it was just like, as you're saying, I just overthink it, and I'm like, I gotta be safe. I'd rather pay for it now than just to think about the consequences of like having a child. But people who are not doing the risk assessment, they're like, I'm not gonna spend $50 on this thing. You know
$50? Are you joking?
No, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm sure I'm fine. You know what I mean? And then boom, what is it, like 2 months later? Hey, Brian,
I missed my period.
What do you mean you missed your period?
What you want me to do about it?
That's exactly what it would be like. Well, okay, like.
Or if you a YN, you'd be like, you said what? I'm late. You said what?
That's hilarious.
You said what?
Oh, fuck. Okay, anyway.
You're going to be a father. You said what? Or you could be a real asshole and be like, I'm pregnant. You're like, who's the father?
Oh my god. But anyway, all right, let's get to it. What is it? Let's start with your boy Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate.
Yeah, they're in hot water again.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like people are not believing that the Romanian justice can do the job done. So England's like, we got this. We'll take over, okay? So they've been charged with the R word, as they would say.
The big R.
The big R, yeah.
The grape.
Yeah. I just think it's fascinating how, like, they created such a group to where they have so many influenced friends who are, like, standing up for them. I am so shocked at how many people... I don't know how they do it. I mean, I personally think they're both sociopaths. I think they're in the triad, the dark triad. I don't think these guys are normal in any sense. You know what I'm saying?
He was a kickboxer. let me let you kick me in the face for money. What sort of a man does that?
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Of course he's messed up in the head.
Yeah, but I just think it's so, what is it? I don't know if it's just confidence, but it's just like he has to allure on people to where they'll just forget about these allegations. If all these allegations were on anybody else, they would have been destroyed. Like, they would not have they would not be outside walking around.
He does have some sort of a cult of personality, that's for sure.
It's so crazy. I think it was like a few days ago, and he doesn't just go into like other men who are like, in that stratosphere of like, women are the worst and all that.
No,
You
he's got his
expect
hooks
those.
in a lot of women too.
That's what I'm surprised. And these women are like, I think there was one title, the recent one was like, the most misunderstood man in our time. You kidding me?
Actually,
The most misunderstood man of our time?
to me, this is nothing unusual with like women, though.
That's crazy.
Charlie Manson, right? I mean, the members of the cult, the women,
Mm-hmm.
they were the ones who did the dirty work for him. They were the ones who killed the people. They adored Charles Manson.
Yeah.
They were in love with him. The dude who shot up that kindergarten,
Mm-hmm.
he gets love letters every single day.
Mangione's in that route right now.
Mangione, yeah. I mean, the women, it's understandable. I mean, fame, good looks, money, bam. No, they got him all wrong. I know what he's like. He's not like that.
It's just so unbelievable to me that everybody is like, there's a good amount of people, the people you think are rational people, who are defending this guy to the ends of the earth. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, Tate says funny things occasionally, and he is entertaining. Yeah, when he first broke on the scene doing the podcast circuit, like,
Oh, that was fire.
that boy was funny.
That was fire, yeah.
Yeah, like, that boy was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he is... Guys like him are dangerous because, I mean, that level of confidence and that level of arrogance and that level of narcissism,
Yeah.
that will get to somebody. I mean, if I go around every single day and tell you I'm the fucking man and I truly believe it and there's never any crack in that argument, eventually you will come around and you'll be like, man, this dude's the man. Eventually I'm going to bake it in and you're going to be like, nah, this dude's the shit. This is the fucking big dude.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he believes it. He said it often enough. And eventually people are like, yeah, he's right. This is the top G. Cobra Tate is the top G. Just because he said it often enough.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, I don't see any way where he's going to come out of this unscathed. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean,
I think, as he says, what does he say? The Matrix.
yeah, the Matrix.
The Matrix against him.
It's against him.
The Matrix not going to let him win.
England is the Matrix. Yeah, like, if he
it's-
can beat off the English justice system, that would be a miracle.
Exactly. Honestly, that would be crazy. I think he might be next level. He might be God to people at that point.
Yeah, I mean, Cobra Tate is legitimately the top G if he can beat the English justice system. In English justice, you're assumed guilty.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Presumption of guilt.
I think it would have been a different story if he was here. There was a chance. So you just get the best lawyer. He'll be all right here. But if Romania, I don't know if he's going to survive there. If he survives there, I see no world where he'll survive.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
England.
Romania just canceled an election though, so I don't think they're exactly credible. But
I'm not saying they're credible. I'm just saying like he made them look so silly. He basically said, if you want to like break laws, you should come here. They let you do whatever you want. I mean, he made a joke of their justice system. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so I think
just pay him off.
Yeah,
just pay him off. They'll let you do whatever you want. Just pay him.
What you just said. What side do you think the whole government's on right now? You think they're more woke or more conservative? Think about the election situation you just brought up.
Woke.
Exactly. So why would the system let a guy who's essentially saying, making fun of the wokes?
Yeah, I mean, and he flew way too close to the sun with a lot of that shit. Like,
of course.
Like,
of course,
he
dude.
flew way too close to the sun.
I feel like the whole reason why they brought up this case against him in Romania specifically largely had to do with the fact that how much he was basically talking mad smack on their system.
Yeah, I mean, it's a saving face maneuver.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the man has considerable social media reach.
100%.
And if you have that level of fame and influence, bro, you got to just shut the fuck up sometimes. Like, don't be going like Dan Bilzerian, right? Like, that whole house of cards fell down. You don't hear about him anymore.
I think, did you hear the recently? I don't know if it's true or not, but
bilking investors.
I mean, he lost like $800 million. He's broke.
Yeah. He's broke. Like,
obviously he's
living
blaming
the
Jews.
high life. Yeah.
He's blaming the Jews right now, but continue.
Living the high life off like company money.
Yeah.
Fraudulent investments, investor fraud, cannabis company that doesn't actually exist.
It's not me, it's the Jews. The Jews are against me.
The Jews came after me. So I mean, he was the same kind of guy. He's the same as Tate. Tate's up here with all this influence, and he's like, oh man, you just got to move to Romania. You're above the law. Yeah. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I understand, like, the narcissism aspect of it, like,
I couldn't help it.
You can't just be above the law.
Right.
I got to tell everybody I'm above the law.
Yeah.
You got to know I'm above the law.
That's right, yeah.
I do whatever I want in this town. I'm the top G.
They know me here.
They know me here. They know not to fuck with me. Like...
Oh, man, yeah.
You can't just live a quiet life like that, You got to... So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a degree of flying too close to the sun, I mean, it's one of those, like, psychology things. That's why people get caught up and go to jail, I mean, you can't just do a crime and not tell anybody. You got to be like, hey, bro, you ain't going to believe what I just got away with. And then all of a sudden, you ain't gotten away with it no more.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, same thing with, like, they usually show up to scene of the crime.
Yeah, they always come back to, like...
Look at that. They don't even know it was me.
They don't even know it was me. And you come back again.
Just to bask in the, oh, man, what a success.
Oh, I'm a newspaper reporter. Let me take these pictures. Yeah. Yeah, like...
Oh, man. But,
yeah, he flew too close to the sun, and he's going to get his wings clipped.
Yeah. Yeah, so that should be exciting. Obviously, he's saying,
At least English jails have halal food. Because he's Muslim.
I always forget that point that he is Muslim. Yeah, he said he was Muslim. That's what he said.
He claims.
Well, of course.
I think a lot of it had to do with, now you can't criticize me. Well, when he was still in Romanian prison, he'd be talking about the struggle. He's like, it was Ramadan, and they only fed us one time a day, and I had to wait until sundown, and I just left my food in the corner, and it had flies on it, and I still had to eat it. It was iftar, and I didn't get no present from my mother for Eid, and if he could have just stayed a little quieter or a little lower profile, things might have been different.
There's a lot of people like him who are just not outside yelling about it. They're fine. There's so many shady people doing shady stuff around the world, especially in Romania. I'm sure of that. But it's just that the difference is they're not on every podcast there's ever been.
Oh my God. To be a fly on the wall in Romania.
But anyway, another person who flew too close to the sun is your boy Diddy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Elon Musk.
Well, no. We'll get to that. But we're talking about just people who are like going to jail. They're not going to see the light of day. It's over. You know what I mean?
Diddy's going to be in solitary.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first they're saying that they're trying to wrap this up by next month. We thought it was gonna take a long time, but they're like, we're gonna wrap this up real quick. And
well, yeah, they're saying names that don't need to be said. Like, we got to sweep this under the rug.
stop. Oh, actually, before we go to that, what did you think of the FBI finally coming out saying that Epstein killed himself? Or do you think so? There was a guy who was saying no, he didn't kill himself. Somebody, the system, all this extra stuff. And what was his name? It was Dan something.
Yeah, Bongino.
Yeah, Bongino. So even he came out and he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, guys." Did you see how he said? He said it so like, "I'm disappointed too, guys. He killed himself. I'm sorry, he killed himself. I seen all the evidence. You know, he did it. He did it."
Well,
but there's a lot of theories. Again, they got him.
I was gonna say, like, the overriding theory is somebody told Bongino and Kash Patel, they said, it'd be a real shame what happens to your family if Epstein didn't kill himself.
You just can't win over conspiracy theories. I mean, the whole conspiracy theory is just making stuff up. Like, what you, not necessarily the evidence, is what you think the evidence are. If you can continue on forever. So I can never imagine this conspiracy ever dying off. As long as there's people who are like, well, I mean,
to be accurate, Bongino did say the evidence we have points towards Epstein killing himself.
Oh, there you go. There he goes. Yeah, go ahead.
So they sterilized the crime scene.
Oh,
and they made it look like a suicide. Therefore, the wormy language of the evidence we're in possession of indicates a suicide.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, conspiracy people are wild, man. They're wild, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there to say Epstein killed himself or not, but
things are just not. I mean, not to say there were not a lot of higher ups that were involved in the corrupt system that he had of, like, you know, blackmailing these, you know, affluent people. I'm sure they are. There's a lot of people probably we know, but again, don't you already know that these people are freaking sick? Like, power kind of corrupts people in general. You know what I mean?
I mean,
every aspect of our life, we find out every day that there are people in their personal life are completely different than what they are in public. So anyway, going back to the Diddy situation, even him, you know, they got him on RICO case, and obviously
you don't recover from that.
Because RICO is all about, like, not just you, there's also multiple people. It's a system.
Racketeering.
Yeah, it's not just like one, but it just seems like it's one person who had a lot of power over all these people. It wasn't like a conspiracy. They weren't doing it together.
Diddy was very influential in the music industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was functionally the Harvey Weinstein of the rap business, right?
That's what people are saying.
So, I mean...
But did
Diddy ever go back on the deal?
But there has been no evidence of, like, this is something he's doing. The theory was, like, he would have these parties, all these famous people would show up, and, you know, they would have sex with each other, and then
freak offs.
All the freak offs we have heard of so far, it only involved him, Cassie, and some prostitute people they hire.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a room you open and then you're like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know. It wasn't like a bunch of famous people coming in here together and just freaking off. It was just more of like Diddy and Cassie event. And then they were like inviting prostitute workers to, you know, be involved in their freak off.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like a hotel room.
As long as the check cashes and the hooker got paid, I mean, you know, it's okay.
Yeah, but do you understand? Like, at first they were made it seem like it was a. It was
they made it seem like this was like Epstein's Island, where it's like all the rich and famous come to gather at Diddy's house and
100%
do all these depraved things on drugs you've never even heard of, and up all night and cocaine for this and uppers for that and downers for that and sleep this and do that, and
it's more just like Diddy has so much money that he had a girl who he met her like when she was 19, 17 years younger than him at the time. So it's not a system kind of in the sense, but it just seems like one guy who was very powerful, and he was basically, berating people. He had a drug guy who would bring the drugs. He had an assistant who would set up the freak off. He would beat this girl Cassie, and what is it? And they witnessed to it, and they didn't do anything about it because obviously, what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean?
It's Diddy.
When Cassie left with like Kid Cudi, and then he forced Cassie basically to tell him where the address is. He went in and like, he didn't even throw a cocktail in there. I think they're saying that he hired somebody to throw a cocktail in Kid Cudi's car. Went in his house, messed up his gift. Freaked out his dog. Apparently, all this stuff just says this guy is a terrible person, but it doesn't equate to it was more than him. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
did you hear one of the gross stuff that in the freak off they said?
Oh, I mean,
it's just gay. If you get
if you have to ask, is this gay? It should be common sense what is and isn't gay.
To me, it is, but apparently there's a discussion in the black and the white community.
Oh no.
Yeah, about like, so there's people who think that Diddy is like a freak, but he's not necessarily gay. You get what I'm saying?
Let me guess, that's black culture.
No, that's the white culture.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if black culture wanted to like defend him like R. Kelly or...
No, they think he's gay.
Okay. So he can hang high.
He's gay.
Hang him.
So, and the evidence to them is the fact that on the freak off, he will have a prostitute. He'll tell her to like book the biggest dick prostitute you can find. And then he would have sex with his girl, and he would sit in the corner and watch. And then he's like, "Did you come inside her yet?" And then he would the prostitute, and then she would tell her to come here, come rub that sperm onto my chest.
I've heard enough. I stand with the brothers. Diddy gay.
Yo, somebody I don't know.
Judge, jury, and executioner. Diddy haram.
Yeah, they're like, no. I mean, he's a freak and all, but like, it doesn't say he didn't suck a dick. He didn't like get one in his butthole or anything like that. So how could he be gay? He just had some spurs. That's just a freaky guy. He's not necessarily gay,
I think of myself.
That's gay.
And I'm like, what scenario could I ever possibly be in where I would say, rub that sperm all over me?
Oh my God.
Even if it's my own sperm, don't rub that shit on me.
Oh my God.
I don't want it back. I definitely don't want it back if it's somebody else's that's been inside you. Wait, did they get it from inside the woman?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't just like shoot it on her stomach or something?
Oh my God, man.
Yeah,
It's
I can
double
think of no
entendre,
scenario where I would want mine back or I would want yours back. Not only do I not want yours back, I sure don't want it back and then put on me. Like, no, that's fucked up. You could be two things at once, right? Diddy's a gay freak.
Yeah.
He's a freak and he's gay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gay. I don't know how to.
Yeah, they're arguing. That, yeah. Oh, is he one or the other? No, he's fucking both. He's a gay freak.
He's a gay freak.
Which I'm sure in the gay community.
Oh my God.
I'm sure if you went into like the depths of the gay community,
yeah,
and you're like, hey, have you ever heard of like, some prostitute just getting railed out by a fucking massive fucking mandingo and then getting the sperm back and just rubbing it all over your chest? They'd be like, oh yeah, I do that every Tuesday. I look forward to it all week. I'm sure they would think nothing's odd about that.
Oh my God. But
the largest Alabama black snake you've ever seen. And this dude's taking like zinc supplements to just blow loads.
But anyway, so obviously the defense.
This is indefensible. Whatever they say he did, he did.
Oh
Guilt, shame.
Yeah. So at this point, kind of the same with what is it? Andrew Tate situation, that the system already decided that you're guilty, and I don't think he's coming back from this at all.
I've decided he's guilty.
Forget the system. I heard enough of this.
I don't need the system. The fact that they slapped a RICO on him. The feds have like a 98% conviction on RICO.
Yeah.
Like if they slap a RICO on you,
Yeah.
they know for a damn fact you did it. There's no getting out of this.
Yeah.
You are dead to rights if you get a RICO slapped on you.
Yeah, so that's what a lot of people are saying. They're saying, I mean, he's trying. His defense is that I'm not a human trafficker. That's one thing he said. I might be abuser. You know, I beat up Cassie. You guys saw the video. I'm a freak. Yeah, I'm a freak. But that's not illegal.
What,
it's
you
not
never
illegal.
beat up a girlfriend?
Hold on, no. He's saying it's not illegal to have these freak offs like that. I can have freak offs. I don't see the problem here. Now, if you want to charge me for saying that for domestic violence, that's fine. But you're going a little bit over too far when you say that I'm human trafficking. You get what I'm saying?
Where did these prostitutes come from?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, were the prostitutes trafficked? Like, you know, because a lot of prostitutes, you know, they get into prostitution via human trafficking.
One of the prostitute guy, actually, he's out there doing interviews.
Oh, a male prostitute?
Oh, you thought it was girls? No, it's all guys. Did you not see?
That's totally gay. No, I'm just so deep in the straight that I was like, I hear prostitute, I just assume women.
No, it's all guys. In fact, so like I think the third day I don't know if it was the third day or whatnot, but Cassie was on the stands. She was there. They were like questioning her, and a bunch of the texts show that a lot of times she was involved, like she was coordinating the freak off, and so the defense they were saying that this is a woman who wanted Diddy's affection, so every time she tried to get his attention, it was one to have these freak offs because he wouldn't give her any attention unless they're having a freak off. If they're not having a freak off, he's not even texting her or whatnot. So to like get his attention, she'll be like, "Hey baby, you know, you would like me to set up? Could you want me to call Ron and set up the freak off?" And he's like, "How long is it gonna be?" You know, stuff like that.
Oh my god.
So there's a bunch of texts that's showing that Cassie herself was like about this freak off, and she wanted these freak offs, and and she was doing all this because she wanted his attention, or else he wouldn't like give her attention. Because there's a bunch of girls that that can do what she's doing. If she doesn't go hard enough, and she just won't get his attention.
What does she care though? He's gay.
You know what's funny? One of the texts.
Why is she crying over a gay dude?
That's in fact I think one point Diddy was like, "You see, if y'all did this is why you can't find a man, because you guys are not doing what Cassie's doing for him." So he's like berating all these other girls and saying that this is why you'll never find a man, because you ain't a real one like this one right here.
You see, to bring it back to Andrew Tate.
Go ahead.
I mean, Tate does kind of function as the father that a lot of boys never had, or the role model that a lot of boys never had. And like, it's got to be a real red pill moment when you see like a guy like Diddy beats the shit out of this woman, does these freak offs, treats her like, treats her bad, all this shit. Diddy's a fucking horrible person. And she's up here like, nah, he ain't really like that. He's not, I love him. Like, she'll do anything for him. Like, if he told her, hide this body, do this, she would have, no questions asked, right?
Well, hold on. You're getting ahead of yourself. So she's still like, she's the only witness they have against Diddy, really. So she's like working with the prosecutor, not the defense. The defense is using like tweet they had going back 10 years or so.
Circumstantial.
Yeah. So obviously you can say there are times maybe she wanted to happen this, and it could have been emotionally the fact that they were doing drugs together all the time. They had like Exes pill that was shaped like Obama or something like that. Hey, give me that Obama. Anyway, so
give me them berries.
Yeah, so they had a bunch of those situations going on. Maybe at one point she was okay with it, but it got to a point maybe she didn't want to do it anymore. But he was saying, if you don't do this, it's gonna get aggressive. You know what I mean?
So, I'm gonna ruin you.
But one funny part about it was that at one point she's like, hey, today I thought we should try something different. Maybe bring my friend. She's down. He stopped texting her. 4 hours later, she's like, okay, forget about what I said. Let's just get the guys back in. And he's like, all right, what time?
This is indefensible. How could you possibly defend him as straight?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, he is gay, 100%. Like, as sure as gravity pulls things to Earth, Diddy is gay. I've never been more convinced of anything in my life. But like I was saying about Tate, though, he's like, oh, these girls ain't shit,
Mm-hmm.
And like, what's a young man supposed to think when he sees like, man, I go to school, I get straight A's, I'm the nice guy, I do this, and they don't text me back?
Mm-hmm.
And Diddy's out here beating the shit out of these girls, and they're his love slave for life. And Tate's like, you see? Do you see?
Yeah, they definitely have ammos. They're providing them some,
Yeah, I mean, like, it's tough out here.
Yeah, and one of the things the defense said was kind of like, I was like, I kind of agree with that. So Diddy also has, what was the mother of his kids? So he has a bunch of kids, and I think the mom died like a few years ago. And when she died, he basically was like, my soulmate died. Like, and then Cassie apparently was upset about this, and that's where it started this whole thing. She knew that day that like there's nothing she can do to ever put her into that realm. Because I've been doing this for 10 years, all these freak offs, and then now publicly,
he still don't love me.
And also he wasn't doing all these freak off stuff with the mother of his kids. He was only doing this with her. Okay, hold on.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And then when she died, he's basically saying, my soulmate died. My soulmate.
Oh boy.
So the theory is that, she was very much offended by that, and after that she was kind of like, I will get this guy. I will bring him down.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Yeah, so they're saying like this is just a jealous woman who was okay with all this stuff happening at the time, but since that situation happened, she decided basically like, I was abused. That's what they're saying.
I mean, this is, basic stuff, really. I mean, like, when a guy catches his woman cheating, the first thing he asks is, did you fuck him? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. The physical act is the betrayal to a man, right?
Right.
To a woman, the first thing she asks is, do you love her? You can share the body. You can't share the heart.
There you go.
That's the crime Diddy did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She thought she had the heart.
He never.
In reality, she just had the body.
Yeah, like she wanted to have kids with him. He never want to have kids with her.
See, yeah,
like the fact that she's literally, she's not coming back on the stand because she just had a baby. So she was like maybe weeks away from having a kid, and she was doing the testimony. And then now they're like, we can't get her back here because she just had the baby. So, yeah, and this is like, I think this might be her first or second babies, and she's having the babies with you remember the story where it's like a guy that Diddy hired, her like gymnast or whatever, or fitness coach, or
that's Diddy a tale as old as time too.
Tom Brady knows about that. Yeah,
poor Tom Brady. That's another one for Tate. Tate's like, Tom Brady got left. What hope do you have?
Yeah, but anyway, so I'm just saying, like, what is it? I brought up the Diddy situation in the sense of like, yes, it might not seem that crazy, like, all this extra stuff, but the fact that the RICO charge has been calm, I think he's done. There's nothing he can do to get out of this.
You don't slip away from a RICO case. Yeah. I mean,
because the prosecutor can just say, which they are saying, they're making the case to say that, like I was saying, like at one point she might have been okay with all this, but she starts saying like, I don't want this. And the fact that we saw that video of him just like brutally that was crazy. He was beating her. That could be like her trying to leave the freak off, and he's like, what you mean you gonna leave the freak off? And he's like started beating her right there in the hotel. And so I think that's such a damning evidence that I don't think he can overturn this case at all. And then if you go forward, you can say that even the Kid Cudi situation, you can say he coerced other people to do this. Like, if you don't do it, I will cause harm to you, or I will blackmail you. At one point, it was so terrible that he had a sex tape of. So this is when she started dating Kid Cudi. This is the first time she left a few times and came back. So one of the times that she left him,
Cudi.
So one of the times she left him, what he was telling her basically was like, I have, videos of you having sex with prostitute and I'm going to put it on the internet. And she's like, please don't do that. So he called her parents. Diddy called the girl's parents, and he's like, if you don't give me $20,000, I'm putting these videos out. What would Diddy want with 20? He's like a multi-millionaire. So that's just like, just the abusive nature of like.
That was probably their life savings. He just wanted to bankrupt
No, he was.
them.
That's exactly
he just wanted to break them.
100%. It was
set an example. See what happens.
Yeah. So eventually he gave the money back. Of course he gave them money back. He was, as you said, he was just trying to basically show them what's up. What you see what I can do. You know what I mean? Don't cross my line.
Yeah. You see what happens.
So evidence like that, I think, is just so damning that I think the jury already made their mind. I'll be shocked if he was not convicted with all the charges, to be honest.
I mean, honestly, this is probably a show trial. I mean, like, in cases like this, I do feel bad for the defendant because, I mean, it's like, you cannot get an impartial jury. Like,
exactly.
Like,
that's it, yeah.
Who walking the earth has not heard of Diddy?
Do you know how many documentaries are out there in every platform?
Yeah, I mean,
there's so many stories been going on for years. You think they're always going to let that go?
Yeah, I mean, the argument I could possibly make, too, is, like, that would be an easy appeal because the defense can say, like, it's a tainted jury. I mean, like, there's no such thing as an impartial juror in these cases. Like George Floyd, P. Diddy, Andrew Tate. Like, you can't get an impartial jury.
Yeah, and at a certain point, it gets to a level where even the people who are like, they're like, you know what? Maybe you were... There's nobody who doesn't know about the case. So everybody already has an opinion on the case.
Yeah.
So there's just no way. I think the overturn itself is going to be impossible for that reason as well. Because everybody already made up their mind.
Yeah, overturn, probably not. But they at least have strong ammunition for an appeal.
We'll see. I mean, who was it? Didn't Bill Cosby got overturned? Remember that?
Yeah, Bill Cosby, it turned out he didn't actually do it. Kevin Spacey, he turned out he didn't actually do it.
Harvey Weinstein too.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of people.
But that's the thing though too, like the process is the punishment. Like Kevin Spacey beat the allegations, right?
Yeah, but
his reputation's never coming back.
It's never coming back, yeah.
He's always going to be Kevin Spacey, the kid rapist. Like his shows are still canceled.
Kid rapist, kid toucher.
Kid toucher.
He's a toucher, yeah. Now
child molester.
It's not Yeah, molester. Yeah, molester. That would be
but
it. Yeah.
Like, even though, I'm sorry, he didn't actually do it, but his reputation's never coming back. Like, your name's still radioactive in Hollywood.
All right.
Like, immediately after that, his shows all got canceled. Like, he can't get work anymore. Mm-hmm. Nobody invites him to the red carpet. Mm-hmm. You can't come to the Screen Actors Guild Awards.
That's kind of true, but also I would say... I was gonna say maybe he has time, but he's also very old, so he doesn't really. It's basically his career was at the end anyway. It wasn't like he was in the middle or the beginning. He was towards the end of his accomplished career. He's been doing this since he was like a kid.
Yeah, but I mean,
because like
he was a good actor though. I mean, like
no, I'm not saying he's not a good actor. I'm just saying he's old now. Like even the roles that he would play are not really gonna be there. No one's writing roles for him anymore.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
same thing I would have said about. I was gonna make the argument that. Maybe he could come back, and I'm only saying he can't come back simply because I just think he was in a latter stage of his career. Like I don't think he wants to come back. Not necessarily like people don't offer him a job. I don't think he wants to deal with he has accomplished everything already. Like, but if you go from what's his name? What's the guy who Mel Gibson? Mel Gibson's pretty much back, is he not?
Mel Gibson is back,
that's right. Okay, it's finished.
Well, I think Mel Gibson's back because he's also a director, and he can cast himself in his works.
Yeah, he has his own production. Yeah,
he has his own production. But now, after October 7th, I think Mel Gibson would have gotten more work now in Hollywood.
I think the environment
because Hollywood is extremely pro-Palestine.
No. That's actually a great point. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be like, no, Mel Gibson, the guest of honor, Mel Gibson.
There's a little bit of that, and also there's just an audience for...
Yeah, what bad timing.
Well, and also there's just an audience for, like, right now everybody's bashing on the Jews in every way they can. So if you're bashing Jews, it's just part of like
Yeah, that's the pop culture now.
Yeah, there's a good amount of audience who would be like, yeah, I don't like the Jews either. So why would I care what he did?
Which is paradoxical because the Jews will not stop voting Democrat.
No, but I'm saying
that makes no sense at all to me.
Oh, in a sense of like, okay, who do you think hates a Jew more, the right or the left?
Both for different reasons.
Yeah, but I'm saying the ones who generally hate them. There's one who I think the right hates them more in the sense that the right always hated them, and the reason they hated them for hasn't gone away. It's the same reason. You get what I'm saying? Like they think Hitler was right, and what is it? Now they're just adding on to like, what is it? We understand why Hitler was doing what he was doing.
Yeah,
and they're using evidence that are also held by the left with saying that the Israel situation. So they're using that to their evidence as well. See what's happening there? This is what Hitler was talking about. These guys don't care about anybody else. They are they always talk about, Holocaust this, Holocaust that, but they're committing the same thing. And the left are basically encouraging that message as well. And the right, who already believed all this, they're just kind of like, yes, you see what we've been saying? So it's just like the landscape itself. There's nobody saying that that's not what's happening. Yeah. Because the biggest evidence right now, they both sides agree on it.
Yeah, I would say broadly speaking, the right had an anti-Jewish slant before. I would think some of that would also be political too. Like the right is going to be critical of anybody who votes Democrat. The right was critical of like blacks too for a while. Like the right was seen as like racist or something too, right?
Right.
I mean, anything that was seen as like Democrat culture was like bad, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I would think definitely prior to October 7th, yeah, the right would have been the one that had the axe to grind with the Jews. But after October 7th, I mean, the rhetoric on the left toward the Jews is very hot. Especially like pro-Palestine, anti-Jewish rhetoric, like it's real hot, I mean.
Yeah.
Like.
But how much of that is more of a Western culture hatred? Like, so like the guy who just killed the two Israel, what is it? Is it their consul or their embassy?
Embassy,
the couple that got killed. I mean, the guy who killed them is. Do you know about that?
I heard something very loosely about that. I don't know any details on it.
Yeah, these were couples. They were like about to get married, and they killed them both. And one of them wasn't even a Jew. He was a Christian, but he was working for Israel. But anyway,
I mean,
so the guy who killed them, he obviously, he's screaming free Palestine, all that stuff, and his manifesto basically, he's a lefty. He's basically,
Oh no.
So the difference would be we're in a stage where the right always what they feel about the Jews are still deep there, the
consistent, yeah.
Is that hasn't changed?
Yeah, they control the banks and the entertainment.
That's right. Now
and all the money.
And our government.
Yeah.
So
and the CIA.
Now the left is coming in from so they come in with those conspiracy theories from the Palestinian issue situation. And then you add that on to hating the West culture in general. So both sides are just, there's two systems, and both of them are about hating Jews in one way or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One, the hatred comes from the fact that the Israel movement, the Palestine movement happening, and the fact that America is helping. That's how they perceive, like the Western government, who's colonizers. The Jews, Israel colonizing the Palestinians. So that's where the hatred from the Jew comes from the left, is that the colonizing aspect of it, the Western culture, they thinking like they should be in control of everything, taking over everything.
But the right also has kind of a thing for Israel too. Like the right is largely pro-Israel.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, they stand alone against the Muslim terrorists.
100%.
So I mean, like, it's a tricky spot for everybody with this,
Mm-hmm.
And I will make the argument, too, that while the right has an axe to grind with the Jews because, like, oh, they control Hollywood or they control your money or they're the Rothschilds or whatever, the right is at least, I mean, the right's more nonviolent than the left.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, like, if you're going to have an enemy on the right or the left, you should probably go for the right to be your enemy instead of the left because, like, the left don't give a fuck. Like, if they see you waving a Jewish flag at a Palestinian protest, they're going to throw bricks at you and aim for your head.
You're right, yeah.
Like, if you're laying on the concrete bleeding, they're going to think it's funny.
I 100%.
They're going to say that Jew deserved it.
Yeah, the emotion is a lot more...
like...
in a terrorist level. Like, they'll take actions, you know?
Yeah, like...
the right is just talking shit online.
Yeah, the right talks shit online and goes to work on Monday. Like, that's what the right does.
That is true, yeah.
The left will hit you upside the head with a fucking brick.
That is true. Yeah. You're right.
Like,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like, left discontent and right discontent ain't the same.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, like complaining about them on you know, getting on an internet forum and saying, you know, the problem with the Jews is they control all the banks.
Yeah.
That doesn't actually hurt anybody.
Like, we need to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The left is like, I'm gonna do something. You know?
Yeah, the left is like, I'm gonna be the change I want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Brick.
Yeah. That's
you know.
true.
Yeah, like, do not bring an Israeli flag to a pro-Palestine protest.
Okay. Anyway, what were you gonna say about the Elon situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're making a whole lot of thing about. Oh, do you see the Tesla stock basically is back where it was before all this?
Dude,
Reddit assured me Elon was done. He's done. He's gone. He's going away. This is it.
Yeah, people were celebrating.
TSLA, right back where it started from.
Oh my god. I mean, I think the video you sent me of that AI, the robot they're creating, dude.
Don't bet against Elon.
Yeah, I think it's just.
What did I say previously? Do not bet against. Don't short Elon Musk. You will lose.
I agree. Yeah. What is it?
And I mean, like, the whole Doge thing, apparently he could only work as, like, a special government consultant by law for 130 days.
Mm-hmm.
So Reddit's like, oh, it's a conflict between Trump and Musk, and Musk is out. And
I've been hearing that. I mean, they're trying to make a...
Yeah, they're making this into something.
Yeah,
they're making it into something, and really it's just like, yeah, without Senate approval, he could work for, like, 130 days by law. And this is 130 days.
And I think one thing he said they were trying to be like, oh, he's going against Trump was like, I think he just said, what he said, you can have a big bill or you can have a beautiful bill, but you can't have big, beautiful bill.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, trouble in paradise.
I mean.
Which he's right.
Yeah, like $5 trillion in extra spending.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's
yeah, like, ridiculous. That's not a fiscal bill.
No.
This is not fiscal responsibility.
No, it's just a fact. And also, like, all the recommendation he made, they're not going to be codified. So it's like,
yeah,
what did I do all this for? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and plus, like, didn't he just have a rocket explode on the pad?
Oh, they're going ham about that. You know, I'm like, okay.
Elon is done.
Okay. It's
How many times did I hear Trump is done? They finally got Trump. Look who's in the fucking White House.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, I mean... Elon did what he said he was going to do. He did his part, and now he's going back. And now it requires the senators, the House representative, and the president codify all the changes he recommended. And I don't know why anybody would. He's done. He's gone. So
yeah, I mean, like he did his bit, and now Tesla needs him more.
Tesla's back to where he was. There's some
literally right back to where it was.
Got some AI going on. He has another, what is it? This rocket situation that he has. I mean, he just has so much going on that, like, I think he left in the best term, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
he basically satisfied what he, you know, the people who were all about Doge, whatever. He did that part. He's like, I did my part.
He showed up. He said his bit.
I'm going back to doing my other thing. I said I was gonna leave too. I wasn't gonna stay too long. He didn't stay more than he needed to stay.
He didn't stay.
And now it's just
like... He
like...
didn't wear out his welcome.
Yeah, now it requires the people that you voted for So you as a constituent, you said you wanted this. I made it happen. Now make sure this guy that you guys voted for is going to fight for, what you guys voice your opinion on. And now I think Trump was talking about like anybody who doesn't, get on board about all these changes, he's gonna primary them out. That's what he's saying. He's making a whole funding just to primer out anybody who goes against it.
Honestly, I don't care why they primary some of these fuckers out. Just primary them out. Like, the average age in Congress is like 85.
Yeah, but I don't think, again, as you were just talking about, none of this matter as long as the spending spree keeps happening. We're still on a doomsday divide right now. Like,
does that even matter? Like,
what
is 36 trillion? Is that any different than 78 trillion? How much trillions can we get to? Like,
any trillions is a bad trillion.
But I mean, like, it's so big and so it's like, is any of this real?
It's real.
Who do we owe the money to?
To a lot of people.
Like China?
A lot of it is citizen. Your own citizen, most of it is owned by them,
What if we just said, nah, we're not doing it?
Well,
how do they get, what recourse do they have?
I mean, your own citizens? The people
no, I mean, like, I mean, China buys, let's say China has a lot of our debt, right?
Okay.
What if we just tell China, like, nah, forget all about that. What's China going to do? They can't come over here and get it back.
Well, no one's going to invest in the country.
We're America. We got the military.
So you're going to force people to invest in you?
That's an option.
That's not American at all. Then you're not American anymore.
It's not American.
You're no different than...
Hey, I'm just saying.
You're no different than the Chinese, basically.
I'm just saying, anybody who wants to talk shit about us, we can just go at them with the military, like, and they can't do anything about it.
Well, they won't have nothing.
What is trillions? What is trillion?
Enough to bankrupt you're not going to have kids, so, I mean, maybe not you.
Never say never.
I guess not.
One accident away.
That is so true. That is so true, yeah. Yeah, especially the risk you're taking, 100% only one away.
Hey, for all I know, I have kids right now. They just haven't come to my doorstep.
That's also true, yeah.
None have stepped forward. That doesn't mean they don't exist.
That's true, especially the craziness you're dealing with. Yeah, dude, it could be one or two. She's like, I'm ready to have a baby, but I don't want to have a relationship with a man. Or she can't find a relationship with a man. So she's like, I'm just going to raise it on my own.
Or
so she calls, she match with you. You guys go out. She tells you, I'm on birth control. Go ahead, dude. Deep in there.
Or
you do it, and then she just kind of goes about their day. And then, she's probably pregnant right now. You don't know.
Or what if this happens a lot too? What if she's sleeping with multiple men and like it's actually mine, but Johnny's the one she pinned it on?
That's also real. That's also real. Yeah, dude. That's also real.
It's actually mine, but Johnny's the one they pinned it on.
That's so real, dude. Yeah. I mean, how many of that happens every day, all the time?
Statistically, they say 1 out of 3.
That's honestly crazy. What the?
Yeah, paternity fraud. They believe affects 1 out of 3.
1
men.
out of 3 is that's crazy. Like,
1 out of 3 men they say is raising
a
child that's not actually his.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And some people will say that's like grossly exaggerated, and others are like, it's 1 out of 3. Yeah, there's people out there that believe that, like DNA tests and paternity tests, if you look at that, they've kind of extrapolated that, and they're like, there's a strong possibility it's up to 1 out of 3. Up to 1 out of 3.
Moment of silence for all the men who have no idea.
Bro, Kanye wrote a song about this.
What did he say?
Gold digger. Yeah. No, he goes on the 18th birthday. He found out it wasn't his. Meanwhile, his baby mama car crib bigger than his.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, you live in a 1-bedroom. You live in a 1-room apartment by the airport because child support takes all your money, for 18 years plus college. There's guys there. You'll be in the system till the kid's at least 22 out of college.
If you don't find out,
yeah, out of college, 22 years. You've lived in that 1-room apartment by the airport. Planes flying over your head. You can't sleep. working two ass jobs, ain't had a day off in 20 years.
All right.
And then the DNA test ain't yours.
It's not yours, buddy.
And they wonder why these dudes go crazy.
Yeah, so, a moment of silence for all the men who are suffering out there, have no idea that their life is going to be not the same once they find out about
mental
this.
health awareness. Like,
mental health awareness.
do we have a month? Is there a month for men's mental health awareness?
Maybe in the future we'll have one after, enough people are informed about this.
Okay, we'll do that as the 13th month. No, I know. Men's Mental Health Day awareness. It'll be February 29th. Every 4 years we talk about it for a day and forget all about it.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right. We're going to end it here. We'll see you guys next week.